Liz, is there one more slide after this? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome. Welcome everyone here and all of you out there in Zoomland or online. Wherever you are on your spiritual path, you are welcome. We believe that we are co-creators with the divine and that you can change your own life by what? Changing your mind. Our founder is the leader of this philosophy that we teach here. All missionaries and follow the teachings of the Bible as well as all the contemporary Chopra and Dyer and so many more. We welcome it all here. And please visit our website, aslcontrol.org for prayer requests and use the contact us tab to send us your comments or questions. And we begin our daily service with a meditation. And Alicia Davies is going to be leading our meditation. Please welcome Alicia and enjoy your meditation.
It might be yellow and misty. Breathe it in deeply and allow it to relax and comfort you. Notice how it gives you a sense of peace. Feel that warm glowing light now surrounding your body. Watch now as the light changes to a soft blue, like the color of the sky on a clear, dreamy day. The soft blue calms you and brings you even more peace now. You might begin to feel drifting on a cloud, gently and even so softly. The light now changes into pinkish color. Just watch what it does. Breathe in deeply as you allow the pink light gently glow into your body and flow directly to your heart. Feel the gentle light nudge any hurts away. It helps you to let go of sadness and worry as you exhale. Pay attention to that as you exhale any hurt feelings, pain, or sadness. Your heart begins to feel lighter, a little freer. The soft, gentle light fills up the space in your heart and shines out any sadness or pain. See the soft light glowing, filling up all the space of your heart. Gently, easily, and lovingly. Breathe this peaceful deeply into every part of you. And notice the calm, stillness take over. Life just feels better. Your heart feels better. This feeling will stay with you throughout the day. Remember that you can always call on this golden light to help you at any time. Imagine your heart now beating with happiness, jumping with joy and excitement. And how many wonderful people and beautiful things surrounds you. Life is good and you feel peaceful. Take a moment just to feel gratitude for all the love and caring that surrounds you. It is so amazing. Feeling calm and peaceful now. Ever so gently, turn your attention back to the room. Knowing that peace is completely yours. And when you're ready, you open your eyes. I love that meditation. Happy heart. Thank you all for joining me today. And our Sunday celebration will start very, very shortly.
And now, please welcome our Big Love Band. Let's give them a big round of applause.
Good morning. We would like you to stand with us. We're going to start with our opening song, and we'd love for you to sing along with us. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I dance my joy, I dance my joy, I dance my joy into the world. I dance my joy, I dance my joy, I dance my joy into the world. I dance my joy, I dance my joy, I dance my joy into the world. I dance my joy, I dance my joy, I dance my joy into the world. I sing my prayers, I sing my prayers, I sing my prayers into the world. I sing my prayers, I sing my prayers, I sing my prayers into the world. I sing my prayers, I sing my prayers, I sing my prayers into the world. I sing my prayers, I sing my prayers, I sing my presence to the world. I sing my love. I sing my love. I sing my love into the world. I sing my love. I sing my love. I sing my love into the world. I sing my love. I sing my love. I sing my love into the world. I sing my love. I sing my love. I sing my love to the world. Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. I can feel it in my body. I can feel it in my soul. I can feel it in my heart, and it won't let go. Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. I can feel it in my body. I can feel it in my soul. I can feel it in my heart, and it won't let go. Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. All this love inside, we can let it shine. Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now.
And something indeed wonderful is happening here today. And we are going to invite you to raise and stand so we can do a blessing on everyone here and all of you out there. And this blessing is welcoming us all to this Center for Spiritual Living. We know who you truly are. You are the spiritual image and likeness of God. We appreciate you. We love you, and we are thankful that you are here. Welcome to the center. And one more song from our Big Love Band. Let's give them some more love.
Thank you. It's the only thing that the whole world listens gets lost between your heart and your mind. And the words aren't really saying the thing you wanted them to. But then you hear it's somebody's song. What you were trying to say all along. And somehow with the magic of music, the message comes through and becomes you. And it's all because music speaks louder than words. Yes, it does. It's the only thing that the whole world listens to. Music speaks louder than words. When you sing, people understand. The longer I live, the more I find people seldom take the time to really get to know a stranger and make them a friend. Reach out, reach out. But the power of a simple song can make everybody feel they belong. Baby, singing and playing gonna bring us together once again. And it's all because music speaks louder than words. Yes, it does. It's the only thing that the whole world listens to. Music speaks louder than words. When you sing, people understand. Music speaks louder than words. It's the only thing that the whole world listens to. Music speaks louder than words. When you sing, yeah, when you sing. Don't you know that people are gonna understand?
Wow. And I have to follow that. Okay. That was beautiful, John. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning again, everyone. My name is Malika Devi. I am one of the licensed practitioner at this center, Spiritual Living Cape Coral. Thank you all for joining me today. And today's reading is "Allowing Things to Unfold" is the heading for this reading. It's written by a Reverend Elaine Grace O'Brien. I figured it's a good message for us, the time that we're in at the center. So, there is timing and flow to what we do that is in harmony with the rhythm of nature and the presence of divine grace. Have you ever noticed that sometimes you work flow in the nature and graceful way, and other time it feels like you are pushing pushing boulder uphill. I notice that's with my writing. There are times when I cannot type fast enough to capture the stream of inspiration that flows from my mind into the page. And other times when I am typing and then backspacing to erase the first sentence again and again. Inspiration nowhere to be found. I know better than to try to push the river. Instead of typing the same sentence again, I get up, walk around a bit, go outside, or my favorite intervention, lie down on the floor and let it go. I breathe and relax and know that inspiration will come into our own time. It's its own time. If you find yourself struggling to try to make something work, check your self timing. Would it be okay to just step back, take a conscious breath, and remember God is in charge? Step back into remembering that divine reality will bring forth what is needed at the right time as you open yourself to it. The key is to allow things to unfold in divine timing. It is not always the timing we want, but always we see in hindsight timing that was right. So let us take this allowing things to unfold into a prayer. So as I'm allowing myself for this moment, and I am stepping into the gratitude for each and every soul that is showed up today in presence and on social media and virtually. So I take this moment to recognize all that is unfolding this moment is God's work. Everything is in divine order and divine time. So I take this moment to bless each and everything that is unfolding at the center right here, right now. I know everything is in divine order, everything is in divine timing, everything is perfect, wholesome. So with a great gratitude, I release my words into the law of mind, knowing it is so, it is complete. And please join me by saying, and so it is. So it is my great pleasure to introduce Reverend Granda. He's the co-founder and co-director of Soul Evolution Collaboration and Outreach of the Orlando Center for Spiritual Living, dedicated to fostering both personal transformation and communal evolution through an innovation brick and click model, bringing his passion for life to all of his endeavors. Reverend Dan is driven to inspire others to find their purpose. Isn't that wonderful? Yeah, I think so. It is the philosophy that better people make a better world. Yes, I'm all for it. With a mind for the creative and the intellect for the details, and combined with an awareness of the great need for the shifting of consciousness in the world, Reverend Dan is an upcoming leader in the New Thought movement. Please put your hands together for Reverend Dan.
So, it's going to be a good day when I want to go off my notes before we start. So, as a guest here this morning, it has been a real privilege to have the opportunity to sit back and watch and observe. And I've been able to do that with a big smile on my face because it gives me the to see who loves their community so much that you all step up the way you do. So you should be proud. It is really an honor to watch how this community has come together to put this, especially now, in this day, this time. That is no small undertaking. So I'm impressed. You should be proud, and I am feeling very welcomed to be here to share this message. So happy spring. Yeah. I thought it appropriate that we talk today about abilities. It has been kind of fun. I don't know if this community has been following along with the organizational global themes or not, but last week was releasing, and this week is open to possibilities. It's been fascinating to see topics. This is fun. It's been fascinating to see how those topics have lined up so well with how the world shows up, how life shows up for us. So today we're going to talk open for possibility, and I thought I'd start off with a slogan that we hear a lot in this movement: seed, soil. If you hang around long enough, I can see many heads shaking. If you hang around long enough, you this and hear this all over the place. It sounds so simple, and yet something that shows up all over the place because it gets right to the point of something so cool. High energy freaks out soundboard. That's fine. So seed soil speaks directly to one of our most basic principles in the creative process. The creative process is something that we talk on a regular basis in this movement, and it comes up all over the place, whether we recognize it or not. The creative process, the seed, which is a thought in mind, gets planted in law, the medium, the creative medium, becomes the plant, right? Law activates this idea germinates and prospers in the soil and becomes a plant. And that is our thought moves through law and comes into reality. Yes? Yes. Good. So, seed, soil, plant, that's kind of it. If we get that, we're pretty good. And yet, at the same time, there is definitely something more to this. I have realized recently, I think, we are living. Cool. We have a new soundboard. If you didn't notice, we are working on it, and thankfully, thank God, there are people behind the soundboard to do that for us. So I was talking with a friend about this idea about seed, soil, plants, and it just so happened that this friend, an avid gardener, and has recently moved, so many of her plants are in pots. So there's not necessarily a garden outside. Seeds in pots. And as we were talking about this, she showed me these beautiful pots that she had decorated and just planted new seeds in, and was moving certain plants from smaller pots to big pots. And we realized how appropriate a metaphor that is for being open to possibilities. She also happens to be a minister giving this pretty much this same talk right now. But we were talking about how when you plant a seed in a pot, you have to cultivate all the soil. You put the seed into the soil, you leave it alone, you kind of give it the water it needs, you love on it a little bit, plants respond to that, and it grows. And it grows. And this seems so obvious that when we have this seed, soil, plant metaphor, that, wow, yeah, when you actually go and do it, I mean, that really is it. That really is the idea that life shows up by law. We don't control or try and alter what sort of plant shows up. You plant a seed for an oak tree, you get an oak tree, right? You will get what you plant. have faith in this. We have come to develop in this process of seed, soil, plant. It seems so clear there must be more to this than just put in the frame of reference, meaning open to possibilities. If we are open to possibilities, well, if we plant this seed, I guess there's a possibility it grows. There's a possibility it doesn't, right? So certainly there's possibility there, but where is the room for creative expression? Do we take the plant and then what? And so we found this metaphor goes on much further than just seed, soil, plant. What? Then what? Do we have faith in the then what? Is it still that same thought? Is it still that same seed that is continuing to germinate? What happens after the seed becomes the plant? And so in life, this is kind of where we tend to fall short. In the law, and we start to question stuff. Things show up in front of us and we go, I don't know that I thought it was going to look like that. That's a small plant. I don't know. And so we haven't necessarily developed a faith in the then what. And really what we're talking about is secondary cause. We have primary cause, which is that idea in mind. Moves through law, becomes form. Well, form can also be cause. It is the secondary cause of what happens next. It is the cause for the then what. And so if we lose faith in the then what, we tend to doubt the plant. We're doubting that the seed was anything more than a seed, and yet we're looking at the plant. We know that life is a mirror. It will always back up for us what it is that we believe. Think. If there's something that's showing up in our life, we better bet that is what we believe or what we think, and we then know, okay, we know what to look at to change that. So we do have to look at whether we are open to possibilities if we are not certain, in having faith in this secondary cause. So we have to look at, are we willing to remain open to the possibilities that there was a larger idea in this seed than just the initial plant? Because that plant will continue to grow, given the right circumstances. If we doubt it and leave it alone and say that's not what I thought it was going to be, it's probably going to wither and die. But if we continue feeding that idea, continue feeding that plant and watering it, it certainly will grow. So being open to possibilities is all about stepping into faith greater than just the initial thought. It's stepping into faith in the nature of the universe, right? That we are stepping into the faith of the unknown. And so when we look at the teaching symbol, thankfully you have displayed right here. You'll notice, so the circle, I think we're all familiar. The circle is God. It's a thing that exists. Split up into three parts because the top is mind, the middle is medium and law, and the bottom is form. Yeah? And so we also notice this thing that we often call a V. It's more like a funnel because it's come from mind down into law. That's this side. And become a thing here in form. And what happens is we often, that's your process. And yet, there is a whole lot more to it than that. There is so much more to it than that because this idea, now here in form, is in front of us. And we feed back to this idea. And that's what the whole right half of this V, of this funnel is. That is us feeding back to the universe because this is not actually a V. It's actually a continuous wave. And this is the law of reciprocity. And this little flippy here at the top on the right, that is the realm of possibility. And that is what we're talking about today. We are literally living on this little swoosh up here at the top. Because when we have a thought, a feeling, an emotion, a reaction to a thing in form, we are feeding the universe what it is that we think about that thing in front of us. So if we think the plant should have shown up as something else and we neglect it, we are feeding back to the universe that is not, somehow that's not what we believe. We thought either we planted the wrong, we mixed That's not what we thought. We neglect it and it dies. Or we feed it. We continue to feed this thought. It goes back up into mind and has the potential to become something else. We feed back to the universe something new. And so this continues. We are the giver of thought, then we are the receiver of form, are the giver of thought and the receiver of form. And we continue like this. And what was fascinating is we found in our conversation about this pot planting of seeds model that when you do recognize the seed for what it is and it continues to grow, well, eventually that plant is pot. And so what we repot this seed, this plant. So we get a bigger pot, we cultivate new soil, we get this pot ready, maybe we decorate it, we love on it. We scoop up this plant out of the smaller pot and put it in, plant it. And we continue and start all over again, right? If we don't repot this plant, it will still continue to grow. The roots will get larger, the plant will get larger, the roots they will need more water, they will need more space. And so root busts out the side of this clay pot and starts growing around the bottom looking for soil. And hopefully we recognize one tiny root comes out and we go, we need to repot this plant. I didn't realize that before. What might often happen. However, there are times we completely forget and all of the roots bust out and this pot gets destroyed. The pot totally breaks down because this idea has become so large it no longer fits in that pot that it was sitting in. So there's still an opportunity here for us to repot this plant and put it into a bigger pot. The interesting thing is when we look at our own lives and we look at how we live and operate within this realm of possibility, when we are open to possibility, replanting our own our seeds, there is a limit in our mind to where we are willing to do that. And so, current scenario, our roots starts busting through the side of our. No, this pot is really cool. And we try and resist this. Well, what happens? The roots keep going, and then another root busts through, and we're like, but come on, really, I don't really want to I don't want to up and move or do something different. This pot is nice. Destroy what we have built around us, hoping to repot ourselves into a different system. So much of this is something that has developed out of our ego. We are fearful of something of the discomfort, fearful of what it might be, fearful of the unknown. And so we very often don't interact with that realm of possibility. But when we are willing to do that, when we recognize this, because awareness is always the first step, when we recognize this, to embrace the unknown, because we know that the universe is always conspiring for us, with us. We live in a creative universe, not a destructive one. Therefore, all of it must be good with a capital G, and that good is coming towards us all the time. That we are not expecting a reality of destruction. That even the breaking down of the pot, even have those moments where we resist a scenario so much that the pot completely breaks down because there's no other way. We are constantly moving to good. And the universe goes, yeah, come on. A little nudge and maybe a little kick. And the pot breaks down and we have to replant. Because otherwise we would become the neglected plant, right? We need to consistently observe the scenario that our pot is in, the soil that is in our pot. How big is the pot that we are in? Is this working for our lives? Are we expecting more good to come towards us, even in the unknown? And Holmes says, there are many quotes to pick from about this. He speaks on this a lot. Holmes says, the best way to arrive at the highest consciousness is to have a great in the willingness and the ability of Spirit to do all for us by working through us. We must believe in the inherent goodness and all powerfulness of the Spirit. We must let every path lead us back to the point where we realize the inner presence of the great reality. There, through the door of our own thought, we enter into universal consciousness, into a complete realization of life and truth, of love and beauty. And so when we begin to embrace this idea of possibility, of having faith in something greater than we are, having faith in something that is unknown, we actually engage in this wave that is shown here in the teaching symbol. We have this thought. We become the receiver of the as form. We feed back, which becomes a new thought and growth, and it comes back, and we feed back again. So when we recognize a faith in the invisible, which really is what the science of mind is teaching, we must have faith in something other than the plant that showed up as proof of invisible, but recognize something greater than that. Recognize there a power back of all things, something greater than we are that we can use to create our life. We have this ability to step into and embrace possibility. Holmes also about this. This is a new design for living. Fantastic book. Good and everything within to this thought understands its meaning. Greater than I am, flowing through me into everything that I do or think about, automatically making everything right. There is a transcendence coordinating, unifying, causing all the experiences of my life to blend into its unity, into its oneness, and proclaiming the power of its might. As a child accepts life without question, and love without argument, and action without anxiety, so do I spontaneously accept the operation of a power greater than I am as the divine governor of everything. The divine presence diffused through all my thinking. Kind of moves you, doesn't it? So we are called to move into this deep faith of the a deeper faith in something greater than us, because we must recognize that life works in the invisible. The universe works in the And so for us to fully embrace a greater sense of ourselves, we must be willing to step into this realm of possibility. Must be willing to reap ourselves when necessary, to accept more that life has to offer of ourselves, and know that there is something behind the scenes that is moving, that is the things we could never do. That quote from the reading earlier, I've learned to not push the river. Yeah, that's exactly it. And so our application, our to-do, is to be willing, simply to be willing to evaluate ourselves. Be willing to evaluate yourself, the circumstances you're in. What does your pot look like? And we may have many flower pots, we may have many plants, many scenarios, and simply be willing to observe. Where is life beginning to feel tight? Where do I need to replant? Where do I need to release and let go and remain open to possibilities by creating a larger space? Where do I need to allow myself to up level, to allow more life to flow? And so, specifically, if you really play along with this, specifically, find one place this week where life is trying to show you that we need to replant. We all have somewhere. We all have a growth edge. We are always growing, expanding, being willing to absorb more life, more creativity. So simply find that one place this week where is life saying, this is the place. Observe this pot. You might need a bigger one. And simply being willing is all we really need to do, because it is that power behind us. We just have to be willing to allow in more flow of the divine. So we are deepening our faith. We are allowing a greater expression, and we are taking part in this possibility, this realm of possibility, this little swoosh at the top of the teaching symbol. So it is always in our greatest opportunities that lies our greatest growth edge. What seems like our greatest limitation is actually our greatest truth and our greatest growth. So to be truly committed to any sort of inward journey, we must be willing to embrace the field of the unknown. So why don't we just take this inward for a moment? If you would join me closing your eyes. Knowing, feeling, believing, sensing that there is something greater than we are, back of all things, that loves us and moves us, that we are a part of. It may be greater than we are, and yet we have everything available to us that it is. It works and moves and lives through us. We are the divine reality in form, in life. And we continuously inform the universe, inform this mind about the reality of form. We are here as both the giver and the receiver. We are here as this creative force, and yet also here as the soil. We are the thing that life moves through. And law and love work through us to create, to recognize. What would life be without us here? Mind needs us. Mind is us. Mind operates through us. We are the echo, the amplifier of all thought. And so deeply embodying this knowing, we simply allow for this divine flow to work through us. We simply become willing to have a deeper belief, a deeper knowingness of this invisible power. We create what is in front of us. We recognize what is in front of us. And we grow by what is in front of us. We recognize there is room for growth, and so we continuously give back to the universe to create space in our own flower pot for growth. We cultivate our own soil. Enlarge this flower around us to enable the activating flower experience. And so I recognize the blessing that is everything. This desire to see this growth, to see that is coming at us. We are constantly meeting it halfway to experience more of life, more of love, of everything that the one mind, the universe, everything we simply experience more of in our willing. So recognizing the gratitude for all of this and so much more, I simply release this word into the law, not only letting go of it, knowing that there is something moving on it, but releasing it out of our consciousness in a sense of creating space for the divine flow. And so in this divine flow, I simply let this word go and let it
Good morning, everybody. My name is Melissa Tuff, and I am a practitioner here at the Center for Spiritual Living, in addition to the treasurer of the Leadership Council. Thank you, Mimi. So I just want to give Reverend Dan a big thanks because that was such a beautiful message, so uplifting and inspiring. And so can we just get another hand for Reverend Dan, please? Thank you. And so, speaking of thanks, this is our opportunity to show gratitude for all that's transpired here today. And we offer several ways for you to give. You can text your tithe to 239 320 3820. You can send your contribution through PayPal using our PayPal address at paypal@cslcapecoral.org. You can visit our website, cslcapecoral.org, where you can set up a automatic transfer of funds on a weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly basis, or you can just make it simple on yourself and click that little donate button on our page. You can also mail a check to Center for Spiritual Living Cape Coral at 406 Southeast 24th Avenue, Cape Coral, Florida, 33990. And since so many of us are shopping online these days, you can also support your spiritual home through your online shopping with Amazon. Just visit smile.amazon.com and select the Center for Spiritual Living Cape Coral as your charity of choice. If you're joining us in person, we do have donation vessels near the exit. While we are appreciative of all of the gifts and donations that you provide us, which have allowed us to stay open in the past year. Thank you. Thank you. We are so very grateful for that, but we also want to expand that giving to our community. And so your gifts also support your spiritual home and the Cape Coral Caring Center, which provides food for people in need in the area. We also use the Cape Coral Police Department Children's Program and donate to them as well. In addition to Hearts and Homes for Vets, and we will be doing ACT also this coming term. So we're going to support women who are struggling and families who are struggling. So all good things, all of your gifts and tithes go to great places. And so we just want to thank you for that. And we also want to thank you for your continued generosity. So if you have your gift with you, and now I speak a word of blessing over these tithes and gifts. With appreciation and love, I accept these offerings. Divine love through me blesses each gift and each giver. I know that all that has been given here circulates to do great works both within this spiritual community and in the world at large. Standing in gratitude, I release these words, so please join me in saying, and so it is. And now we'll welcome Reverend Linda. I'm putting you ahead of yourself. Linda will come back up here and give us our wonderful and exciting announcement.
You in here and all of you out there for our Zentangle class. And if you're looking at the slide, doesn't that look like fun? Spending afternoon creating. And you know, it is springtime. Yesterday was the first day of spring. So, yes. So, Spring is a time for creating new things. So hope to see you there. And our next on our list is new. Oh, do you want? You can bring me the book if you want. We are actually come up here with me, Malika. So Malika and I do a book study group together. We are partners. And our next book is on The Infinite Way with Joel Goldsmith. And so it is going to be on Tuesday afternoons from 3:30 to 5 p.m. So we do hope that you join us here because we have a lot of fun on that, don't we? Okay. You can have you put that. And it's a light, easy breezy read. It's really great teachings, very inspirational. I hope you will join us. It is a $30 love donation per month, so $1 a day to add such great joy, beauty, and it's a good time to start something like The Infinite Way. As one more time, it is spring. It is time to grow. And we have another book study that's going to be starting in the middle of the month with Valerie Data, one of the practitioners here. And it is I Am Enough with Marissa Peer. And Valerie is absolutely lovely, so I am sure it is going to be a great time together. That one, for those of you who can't make a daytime one, is 6 to 7:15 p.m. on Thursdays. And next up, next week, please join us and welcome Reverend Elijah Christopher. Looking at the picture, I don't think Elijah is Alicia, but you never know these days. So please welcome us for that. And for those of you who don't know, we are in between ministers right now. So we're having visiting ministers every week for a while here. So that gives us a chance to have lots of really great variety and to meet new people. And every week on Wednesdays, we have midweek tune-up with our lovely and beautiful Melissa. And we meet outside with masks and social distancing and just talk about really cool spiritual topics and conversations with Melissa and whoever shows up. So please do join us for that. It is a great, inspiring time. And might as well do it again. Another plug to grow. Grow, grow, grow. And we have our annual meeting, and that is actually tonight, right? On Zoom. And what we do is it is talks about everything, all the goings on here, all the things that we're planning for the future, and inviting your input in discussing and all of it. And it is at 7 p.m. via Zoom. And how do people get on that, Melissa? Okay, links went out via email, so it's for members of our congregation for the meeting. And we have our continuing ongoing food drive, which these days I know comes in very handy to those receiving it. So thanks for all those who are giving, and do continue to bring food for the food drive. And I'm sure this is something that we'll always do. We'll find somewhere to give it. And thank you, Patrick and Roger, for. I think you guys are still delivering, right? Yeah, great. And as we exit today, we are going to exit out the sliding glass doors to outside. And so make sure you come out and bump elbows with each other and with our beautiful Reverend Mark, right? Dan, sorry. And visit outside, and we quickly exit so we can get the center sanitized in here. So, and now we are going to do standing in the light. So I invite you all to stand. And we just take this time to take names of our loved ones, those on our hearts and our friends, and we speak them into the light and have a blessing and prayer for them. So I am standing in the light today for my son Paul, knowing His perfection and His wholeness. I'm standing in the light for all the unspoken prayers, and I welcome you to include your name into the light right here, right now. And just knowing as we all stand together in this blessing that each and every one of us are indeed blessed and a blessing. And just knowing that this day continues to unfold with great blessings, with ease and grace of this field that has been prepared for us, absolutely knowing that life has gone ahead of us, providing everything that is needed. It is all here. It is all now, today, on this great, grand, and glorious good God day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And let us welcome one more time our amazing Big Love Band. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Have a great week, everyone.